10 places with strange and even disturbing sexuality. Sexuality is not always what we think. If you find it strange to see cousins getting married, then today's top 10 will blow your mind. Today, I present to you 10 places whose sexuality would not survive in our time. Or maybe not. Before we go any further, take a second to like this video and subscribe. Thank you. Let's go there without further delay. Sambians in Papua New Guinea. To become a man in this primitive tribe, boys must no longer be in the presence of women from the age of 7. They must live exclusively with other men for 10 years. During these 10 years, their skin is pierced to remove any contamination that may have come from women. They also get nosebleeds, the icing on the cake. They must drink the sperm of their elders to accelerate their growth and their strength. When they return back to the tribe, they continue to indulge in nosebleeds along with their wife's menstrual cycles. I don't know about you, but I find it amazing. Marjujara in Australia. In Madagascar, Marjujara is a ritual of intimate cutting with the aim of reaching adulthood. The first part of this native rite involves a barbaric circumcision, followed by the ingestion of one's own foreskin. After the genital organ has healed, it is sliced lengthwise on the underside, down to the scrotum. The resulting blood is then drained over a fire to purify it. From now on, the male will urinate with the underside of his sex, or at least what's left of it, and not through the urethra. The question that arises is simple. How will destroying a man's representative organ make him a real man? The Trobrianders in Papua New Guinea. Let's go back to Papua, more precisely to the Trobrianders. They come from an isolated tribe and represent a very, very controversial case in terms of the consequences of the sexual revolution. Girls want to have sex just as much as boys, and they start having sex very early, 6 to 8 years old for girls, and 10 to 12 for guys. Moreover, they promote sexy outfits and encourage young girls to walk around half naked. On the other hand, while everyone has sex whenever they want, they are not allowed to share meals together before marriage. Basically, you're not supposed to go out for dinner or dinner together until you're married. But where is the logic in all this? Saut-Do in Haiti. If you travel to Haiti and visit the Saut-Do waterfalls in July, you may witness a very risky custom. Voodoo devotees go there every summer to worship the goddess of love. Normal, right? Fake. Imagine a group of people, shirtless men and women, wriggling in mud mixed with the blood of sacrificed animals, with the heads of cows and goats thrown into the water. Tempting, isn't it? In the Himalayas, in Nepal, in the Himalayas, where there is little land available for farming and herding, families with more than one son face dividing up their land, so that each son can raise his own family. To avoid dividing the land, there is a solution. Find a wife for all the sons, so that they can live as a family and keep their family plot intact. I think it's one of the only places where polyandry is actively supported by men. And you, would you be willing to share your wife with other men if the future of your country depended on it? Tell me in the comments. Let's move on to the next. The Wadabs in Niger. In the Wadab tribe of Niger, West Africa, men have the right to steal other people's wives. You should know that the first marriage of the Wadab is organized by her parents. However, at the annual Jerwal festival, Wadab men wear elaborate makeup and costumes and dance to impress women with the aim of stealing a bride. The resulting marriages are called love marriages. Ironic, isn't it? The pharaohs in Egypt. I tell you without hesitation, ancient Egyptian pharaohs practiced masturbation in public. According to them, the Nile is the result of the seed. Yes, the kind of seed of Adam, their god of creation. This story inspired the pharaohs to masturbate in public on the banks of the Nile to ensure abundance. Incidentally, the ancient Egyptians were so inspired by the act of self-stimulation that at the festival of the god Men, who represented the pharaoh's sexual potency, men continued to masturbate in public. I assure you, they did not do it for fun, but to comply with the ancestral rites and ensuring abundance. Homosexuality. In ancient Greece, the ancient Greeks did not conceive of sexual orientation as a social identifier. Greek society did not distinguish sexual desire or behavior by the male or female gender of the participants, but rather by the role each participant played in the sexual act, penetrating or being penetrated. The penetrating and the penetrated corresponded to the dominant and submissive roles of society. The active role was associated with masculinity, higher social status, and adulthood, while the passive role was associated with femininity, lower social status, and young people. In simpler terms, your social status was determined by your involvement in sex. Greece again. Pederasty is the attraction of a grown man to a young adolescent. It was boy love, the most common form of same-sex relationship between men. A boy was considered a boy until he was able to grow a full beard. A minute of silence for the beardless. In Athens, the old man had to educate, protect, and love, to be a role model for the youngest. In return, her reward was beauty, youth, and a future. Loving a boy under the age of 12 was deemed inappropriate, but there is no evidence that there were any legal penalties for those who dated a youth under the age of 12. Definitely, Greece was Babylon, Iran, and some Muslim countries, such as Iran. A young couple who wish to have sex before they are ready for marriage can apply for a temporary marriage. They are then allowed to pay for a short ceremony, a written contract, and an indication of how long they will be married. Once done, they can have sex as they wish without contradicting Islamic law. A form of marriage for sex only. This is the end of this video. If you liked it, remember to drop a like and subscribe. It's fun and it helps us grow. See you soon.